Good
Good morning.
morning.
Hi, Saraswati. How are you?
Yeah, I'm well, ma'am. Thank you. How about you?
Yeah, I'm also doing good. Thank you for asking. Okay, so Saraswati, let's go ahead and begin. Okay, Saraswati, today I've got a very different sort of an activity for you. I hope it's good to continue. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Your voice is coming, but little bit slow.
Oh, but I'm speaking like the normal pitch only. Hello. Can you increase the volume of your laptop, please?
Yes, now it's okay.
Now it's fine? Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Saraswati, I was saying that today I've got a very different sort of an activity for you. Okay.
Yes.
Uh, Up till now, we have done multiple sessions together and they were majorly related to verses and opinion sharing, ranking. But
Yes.
today, I will put some idioms in front of you and some societal perceptions in front of you.
Hmm.
And you have to connect your real life experiences to those idioms and to those societal perceptions. Okay?
Okay.
For example, a very common one I'm going to take up nail biting moment. I'm super sure that you must have heard about it. Nail biting
Yes.
moment. Mhm.
Yes.
So now you have to think that was there any juncture in your life where you felt that, oh my god, it's a nail biting moment. For example, if I give you an example, when my 12th grade result was about to come,
Yes.
and colleges were supposed to be allocated, that was a nail biting moment for me.
Hmm.
Okay, so in the similar way, you also have to relate this particular idiom to any of your life experiences, and then you have to
Yes.
share with me that why it was a nail biting moment for you. Okay,
Okay.
right? So this will
Yeah.
help you to use these idioms more realistically rather than just putting it wherever you want to. So let's take up
Yeah.
this one only, nail biting moment. Any such experience, any such point of time that you are able to remember for nail biting moment? Any time it happened with you during a movie, during a match, during any result, when you felt almost on the edge of the seat.
Yes.
Hmm, give it a try. It can be simple one also.
Yes.
Should we try another
One
one?
day,
Okay, fine.
yes,
You
no,
have
no.
something. Okay.
When I started my English speaking journey, and when I connected with a YouTuber, so after the session, I realized that it was a nail biting moment
Mm-hmm.
because I asked several questions to her, and without knowing whether I am speaking correct or wrong, and so yes, it was really a nail biting moment for me. After having session, I realized that I did lots of mistakes.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So, when you were in the session, you must be a little nervous or a little uncomfortable. So, how you managed at that point of time and still went through the entire session? So, how you managed it?
I manage means very easily
Oh,
because most of the time I know what to speak.
okay. Mm-hmm.
Maybe I speak wrong sentence,
Mm-hmm.
means I'm not able to frame the proper structure,
Mm-hmm.
but most of the time I know the answer well
Mm-hmm.
because of lack of vocabulary or some sentence structure. I am not able to express my thoughts in a very articulate way.
Mm-hmm. But at
Yeah.
least you knew the content that you have to put forward, so you
Yes,
were
yes.
okay. Maybe the
Yeah.
language not 100%, but your content was. You knew what
Yeah,
next,
yes,
right?
yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Okay. So whenever if anyone faces any nail biting moment, what do you think? How should they calm themselves down? You gave me your example that you were aware of the content. On a general level, if I ask you if anyone faces any nail biting moment, how to keep ourselves calm and composed in that scenario? What do you think? What can be done?
I think we can wait for the result.
Okay. Mhm.
because sometimes when we see when we watch match, so it's also sometimes nail biting moment. So that time we have no other option, we can only wait that time. So
Hmm.
in other scenario also, we should have patience, and with the patience we can handle the situation.
Okay. So
Yeah,
being patient and waiting for the results, that's the way
yeah,
how we can calm ourselves. Yeah?
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Okay. Understood. Now let's move ahead to the next idiom,
yeah.
sitting on the fence. Sitting on the fence. I'm
On the
sure you must,
fence.
on the fence. Have you heard about this?
Actually, I have heard about this,
Mm-hmm.
but
No worries.
I don't know the
I no
meaning.
worries. I will give you an idea about it. Fence. I hope you are aware what fence is.
Yes,
Fence, correct?
yes.
Sitting on the fence, that means you are not sure whether you should go on this side or the other side. So there are
Mm-hmm.
multiple times it happens where we do not know and we are on the crossroads which direction to go. So there
Mm-hmm.
we use this idiom sitting on the fence. So
Yeah.
any such situation, any such moment that you are able to recall where you were sitting on the fence and it was really difficult for you to decide and then you finally decided. Any such
And
experience? Hmm.
I think that situation come uh, in means a very means many of the time that
Okay,
situation
so you
come.
can say every now and then.
Every now and then that situation come. If I talk about the recent one, so as my daughter is in sixth standard,
Mhm.
and 2 or 3 months ago, we were decided to send her in a classes.
Okay.
So it was a sitting on the bench situation.
Mhm.
Means I was thinking, should I send her for classes? I can also means I only continue to teach
Teaching.
her this year also.
Uh-huh.
Yes, so it was sitting on the bench. I was on the sitting on the bench.
Not bench, fence.
Fence. Yes,
Yeah.
I was sitting on the fence.
Hmm. So,
Yeah.
how you finally decided whether to go for sending her to the classes or to continue teaching her? How you decided finally?
First, what I did, I went in that classes and did inquiry related to whichever was my query. I asked her, and even I took the review of many parents,
Mhm.
and based on that, I decided to take admission in that class.
Hmm. Okay,
Yes,
you will not say take admission to get her admitted because you are not taking admission.
yes, yes. To
To
get her
get her admitted in the classes.
to
Yeah,
get her admitted.
admitted in the classes. Fine. So, this particular idiom Saraswati is related to decision making.
Yes.
And some people are quick decision makers. They are able to decide very quickly. But
Hmm.
there are some people who are undecisive. They don't know how to decide. So, what do you think, Saraswati? You, by personality, are a quick decision maker, or you also take a lot of time to take any decision? What sort of a personality you have?
Sometimes I take uh, lots of time. After that, I take like as I give you the example of classes.
Mhm.
So I thought many times.
Hmm.
Then I decided now it's okay because I inquired a lot. Then I decided. But there are many situations I took the I means I took my decision spur on the moment.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so sometimes it's spontaneous and sometimes you take time. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
But there are some people who make decisions wisely. However, some people are not able to take wise decision. So
Mhm.
we all want to make wise decision as much as possible. So far as per your experience, Saraswati, what all elements we should consider so that we can decide wisely? What all come into it for a good decision making or a wise decision making? What all things we should consider?
For good and wise decision,
Hmm.
first we should know what are the pros and cons of taking that decision.
Mhm.
And when we make the list, what are the advantages and
Mhm,
what are the disadvantages of
mhm,
taking that decision.
mhm.
So based on that, we can take wisely any decision very well.
Okay, fine. Many times, this analysis that you mentioned, we should write the pros and the cons, and then we should evaluate and finally decide. But even after that, there is no guarantee that decision will turn out in our favor.
Hmm.
Yes. And
Yes,
it's okay. We do mistakes, it's natural. If decision goes in our favor, good. But if it doesn't go in our favor, then what should be our course of action? How should we react and respond? What do you think?
it's because it is our own decision and thinking advantages and disadvantages, we take that decision. So suppose if that decision is not in our favor, so we can just means uh, handle the situation whatever, means it is in our favor, so it is good, or we should be ready for that situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what is your idea about reevaluation? Some people come and tell me, Radhika, we should reevaluate that what went wrong. So, are you in the favor of reevaluating or not really?
On some extent we
Mhm.
can re-evaluate, but
Okay.
there are many decisions
Mhm.
there we can't re-evaluate.
Mhm. Okay. Mhm.
Yeah, it depends on how serious is the decision.
Mhm. Makes sense. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at times we cannot go back and
Yes.
recheck or refurbish anything. Sometimes it's
Yes.
not a possibility. Overall, what
Yes.
do you think? Decision making is difficult or decision making is easy in life?
It's very difficult and it depends on person to person.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I would like to share one live example of my life.
Sure.
Uh, After completing my BA degree, I got means I was selected for government job,
Okay.
and that was in Uttar Pradesh.
Mm-hmm.
So my parents forced me a lot to go there and join. But I was very firm on my decision. I will not leave Mumbai at any rate.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends on how you take your means how you take your decision with firmly,
Mm-hmm.
and you should not regret whatever decision you have taken.
Okay. Understood.
Yeah.
So, Saraswati, here I would like to put forward one more point. I agree, we should be firm in whatever decision we have taken. But don't you think there should be a certain range or certain degree of flexibility also? Otherwise, it turns into stubbornness also. Ziddipan. Yeah?
Yes, as I told, there are many decisions. There we can be flexible.
Okay. Fine.
It depends on what type of decision that is.
Okay. So it varies
Yeah.
from decision to decision. It is situational. That's what you're trying to
Yes.
convey.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's very nice. So you can say it's a situational, or you can say it is subjective matter. You can say like that.
Okay.
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 Now let's move to the next idiom. Do not beat around the bush. My favorite one. Do not
Hmm.
beat around the bush. I'm super sure you must have heard it somewhere, or maybe
Yes. Yes.
used also. Yeah.
Yes.
So, what do you think? Why we should not beat around the bush? It's good to talk around and around. So, why we should avoid beating around the bush?
Why we should avoid beating around the bush?
Yeah.
Because if we talk directly,
Mm-hmm.
so it would be easy to understand the
Mm-hmm.
opposite person.
Mm-hmm.
And now this time people don't wait for a longer period. They
Okay.
know, they want to know the exact answer.
Hmm.
But in many scenario people really they do beat around the bush.
Hmm.
They do not tell the exact thing or exact reason for anything.
Hmm.
So there are various reasons behind that. Sometimes they hide the situation, sometimes they hide the means what we say,
Consequences?
consequences. Yes. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. Fine. So, do you remember anyone in your life whom you met, any person, your friend, family, a particular person who always beats around the bush and that irritates you? Any such person?
Beat around the bush. Not now. In my college day, this happened several times.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because when we ask to someone like our colleague, so they don't tell the exact answer. What's going to happen? Suppose if someone had taken leave,
Hmm.
so and asked what means had means
Official
happened
reason. Yeah,
last
what
day.
happened? Why he took
They
leave?
so they don't say so they didn't tell the exact thing. Just they just beat it around the bush.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, what do you think? Beating around the bush, that's a natural habit, or you think that people do it intentionally? Sometimes I feel it's a natural habit, and then I meet another person and I feel they are intentionally doing it. So, what do you think about this? It's a natural habit, or it's intentionally done by some?
In many people, it's a natural habit, but many do because they want to hide the situation consequences.
Mm-hmm.
So I think uh, this time comes in anyone's life where we have to beat around the bush
Mm-hmm.
rather than coming to the exact point.
Point to the point, yes. But
Yeah.
I think those people who speak to the point, there also there is a little problem. They such people are called outspoken, straightforward. They are considered as arrogant. Then what would you like to say? Because there are people like people pleasers, and you need to
Mhm.
agree to this point. Then don't you think that a little bit of beating around the bush is okay
Yes,
to
it
set
is
the
a
mood?
little bit beating around the bush is okay, but
Mm-hmm.
in many cases, if we are straightforward, so people would like to that type of people.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I can say
Hmm.
yes,
Fine. So you believe, okay, to a certain extent, beating around the bush to set the stage might be that might work in certain scenarios, but otherwise, to the point is better, right?
yes, yeah.
Okay, understood the point. Beating around the bush can also be taken in a different way, and that is deliberation. Have you ever
Mhm.
heard about this word deliberation?
Deliberate, yes,
Yeah, where we
yes,
discuss the things. Oh, like the manager can say, okay, team, we are going to deliberate about the ideas. That means we are going to
mm.
discuss about the ideas.
Yes,
So,
yes.
don't you think deliberation is important? Beating around the bush is what? To a certain extent, we are trying to understand everything in and around. So, is it
Mhm.
important to deliberate and discuss at times, or it's okay that without discussion, we are always giving to the point answers? What do you think?
I think if we discuss, so it would be better because
Mhm.
after discussing, we would come to the conclusion
Mhm.
what step we should take further.
Mhm. Okay. Mhm.
Yeah,
And while we are discussing, if there is a clash of opinions, then
maybe there are clash of opinion, but
Mhm.
after discussing,
Mhm.
we definitely will come to the conclusion.
Mhm.
And after knowing the decision of all,
Mhm.
we can at least keep in our mind
Mhm.
if there is some clash also.
Hmm.
So it would be better to take decisions in future also.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. So that means discussion is helpful, and with further discussions, we can come to mutual ground as well, or a common ground as well.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, definitely, Saraswati, you must have discussed with a lot of people at multiple times. So, do you think it's easy to decide and come to a common page in today's time? Because everyone is strongly opinionated in today's world, in
Mhm.
today's society. So, is it easy to come on the common ground, or it is not easy to come on the common ground in today's time when everyone is opinionated?
Uh, in my opinion, it's really very tough to come on a common ground
Mhm.
because this time everyone watch social media
Correct.
and they have very strong opinion about that one particular thing.
Hmm.
So coming to a common ground,
Hmm.
it's very tough. But
Hmm.
by discussing each and every point,
Hmm.
we can come to a common ground, maybe. Yes. So
Maybe.
but it will take time.
It will take time and will it take some sort of a compromise also?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah.
But I think compromise doesn't show that we are weak. Compromise shows, if done correctly, it shows our intelligence.
Yes.
So it depends on person to person and perception to perception. Great, that was
Yes.
a deep discussion. Now let's talk about something easier. That was a little heavy topic for discussion. Now, some people believe fast and furious is the way to success, while some people believe slow and steady wins the race. You must have heard about these two. So, which
Yes.
one do you follow in your life? Fast and furious wins the race, or slow and steady wins the race? What applies in today's time?
Uh, uh, if I talk about this time, so people prefer to fast and furious in their life
Correct.
because they are in hurry
Hmm.
to reach their goal.
Hmm.
But
Correct.
if I talk about myself,
Mm-hmm.
so I believe that slow and steady wins the race
Okay. Mm-hmm.
because
Okay.
when we go slowly but
Mm-hmm.
consistent with our journey, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
talking about English language journey,
And
anything, whatever you have decided in your life.
mm-hmm.
So consistency is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Consistency as well as proper time management
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and with discipline.
Mm-hmm.
If you follow all these things, so slowly and
Got
continuously,
it. Mm-hmm.
uh, by doing the thing on regular basis, one day you will hit the target, whatever you have decided for yourself.
Hmm. Okay. So, do you think that you are a little different from society? That is why you go for slow and steady, or you think the reality everyone is slow and steady? This fast and furious is just an illusionary idea. What do you think?
I think yes, at some on some extent, it
Hmm.
is an illusionary idea
Hmm.
because as few days ago,
Mm-hmm.
I was reading Atomic Habit.
Oh, okay.
So I based on that I can say that very small habit, doing that habit on a regular basis
Mm-hmm.
can reach you towards your goal.
Correct. Yes.
Yes,
Mhm. Yes. I've also read that book. I mean, it was an audio book. And he mentions about that folding your bed or just cleaning your bed, that one
yes,
small habit can also
hmm,
set a good tone for the entire day.
yes,
It doesn't matter how minute the action is, it depends on the intensity and consistency that you do it. You
yes,
perform.
yes,
That's what makes the difference,
yes,
isn't it? Great.
yeah,
So, Suti, I think today was quite a deep discussion. Before
yeah,
this, we had a different level of discussion, but today it was deep. I hope that you liked it. I thought that
yeah, yes,
in the beginning you were a little scared that, oh my God, what is this? But then you picked up. I hope you
yeah,
liked it. Yeah?
yeah,
Great. That's nice. Now we will move ahead to the feedback part. Only one
yeah,
word for the pronunciation. Please open the chat box and here is the word for you.
yeah.
Yeah. Can you please pronounce this word?
Query,
No, it's not query, it's query.
query,
Query.
query.
I
Okay.
had what all queries I had, I asked all of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Then you said after having that session, having is generally used in the sense of eating. Even if you
Mm-hmm.
don't say having and you just say after the session, I realized that is also
Mm-hmm. Okay.
having is not needed. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Then you said I know, but you were talking about the session which is already done, so it should be
I
I
knew.
knew. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Then you said that situation comes because you are saying
Okay.
that and that is singular in nature.
Okay.
After that, you said actually, you said this particular thing twice or thrice.
Mm-hmm.
On some extent, whenever we say some extent, we always use the preposition to. To some extent,
Okay.
I agree with you. To some
Okay.
extent, I disagree with you.
Okay.
Okay? To some extent. After that, you said the opposite person. We do not say the opposite person, we better say the other person. The other
Other
person
person.
might not
Okay.
agree. Okay. Or you can also say the person in front might not agree.
Okay. Huh.
And
Yeah.
lastly, you mentioned after discussion and deliberation, we can reach to a conclusion. Perfect, there is no problem, but there are some other smarter ways of putting it forward to come to the common ground, to come on the same page, to come to mutual agreement, to get
Mm-hmm.
into consensus. So these are some different ways and a little advanced ways how you can replace this word conclusion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
So,
Yeah.
Saraswati, it was nice, and I think you should now go for such deep discussions only. Because
Yeah.
in the beginning you struggled for a while, just for a while, but then you picked up. So now I think you should be more into such discussions where you are able to think deep and you are able to present more advanced ideas with some better and advanced words.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, which one was your favorite idiom? We discussed many idioms. Which one was your favorite? My is beating around the
Don't
bush.
beat around the bush,
Okay.
and slow and steady wins the race.
Oh wow, simple and sweet. Nice. Thank you,
Yeah.
Saraswati. I wish you all the luck and see you in the next session.
Yeah.
Okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
Thank you.
Take care. Have a good
Yeah.
time.
Likewise.